So this will be another Warhammer series similar to my Khazrak campaign, except this time we've added an extra challenge. You can get more details on the mods we're using and why in the first few minutes of the first Khazrak video, but to summarize, we want a campaign that plays much slower on both the campaign map and in battles. Movement is cut in half for armies, which takes away the dynamic of steamrolling from one settlement to the next each turn. Battles take longer and have less of an arcadey feel, and super buffed garrisons make taking every settlement feel like the brutal, difficult, bloody affair that it should be. For this campaign, we're playing the role of Khazrak of the beastmen, a race that really depends on speed and raising settlements, so all of those disadvantages should have a profound effect on the pacing and difficulty. I don't know exactly how much, because this is my first attempt, so like most of my games, it's a bit of an experiment. Sit back and watch Khazrak emerge from the darkest woods of the Empire to take on the Realm of Men, starting with his arch-nemesis Boris Todbringer. I think it might be kind of fun to drop him into the middle of the Empire where he's obviously going to be surrounded by people who hate him. And I think the beginning of this campaign is probably going to be a bit of a struggle, and that's kind of what I'm hoping for. So let's see how that goes. And again, I'll just go ahead and leave these settings all the same. Legendary, of course, everything as hard as I can make it. And let's go ahead and give this a shot. I am looking for a challenge, and I think a lot of other players are as well, so fingers crossed, and let's see how this goes. I have a feeling I'm going to be fighting a lot more battles that aren't settlement battles, which is not ideal for the beastmen. You want to normally be raising settlements as frequently as you can, but I just have a feeling that the Empire in particular is going to be throwing lots of armies at me, and I'm just going to have to keep ambushing them to try to stay alive. I don't speak beastman, but I guess what he said there is, I, Khazrak, one eye, bring ruin to man. Well, that's what we're going to try, anyway. So we need to try to defeat Lorlearn here. Got this army to beat. And, of course, this garrison army to try to defeat that. To try to put up our first herd stone. Let's go ahead and... I wonder if I just shot myself in the toe there by limiting my movement. No, I guess not. Okay. So I can reach the army. I cannot reach the garrison without attacking the army. And I really don't know if I'm going to be able to reach that garrison this turn or not. That's obviously a huge impact of the minus 50% campaign movement mod, if in fact I can't take that garrison in the first turn. Okay, yeah, so I want to just take a look here and see what my hero's got. He's got Khorne's Fury, which is Frenzy, which is fine. And just to refamiliarize myself with what Khazrak's got, looks like he's good with Bestigors. That's good. I can see using some Bestigors if we get that far into the campaign without being defeated. I, of course, intend to play through the campaign to the end. And I'm not crazy about chariots. They just require a lot of micro. And Ungor units get poison attacks, so that's good. And reduced bestial rage penalties and detection chance when in hidden encampment stance. That's going to be pretty useful, because I have a feeling I'm going to be hiding in encampment stance an awful lot. So let's go ahead and fight our first battle. Close victory. Obviously, I'm not going to auto-resolve. Looks like I could auto-resolve without losing any units, but I have a feeling I would take a lot of damage if I did. He's got Dryads, some Eternal Guard, which are going to be strong stronger than most of my chaff. Some Way Watchers, which I'm quite worried about. I need to try to use any speed advantage that I can against his Way Watchers. My fastest units are going to be the Minotaurs and the Chariots, so I think I'll try to get my infantry engaged with his front line and get my 2 fastest units around for the Way Watchers. Let's see if that plan works out. And of course I didn't even notice that it was an ambush, which is good. Maybe we can get into his Way Watchers right away. That would be ideal. It's been a while since I played the beastmen, but that's one of the things I really like about them is they fight a lot of ambush battles. I don't normally even love ambush battles, but there are definitely times where it's an advantage. I'm going to try to actually get, since I outnumber him, I'm going to try to get a front line assaulting him. First of all, let me make sure that oh, his Glade Guard are... They're going to be here, I assume, and they're hidden. It's okay. We'll find them. We'll find them. Hit him from both sides. Get Khazrak in there on his Lord. My Brasham and Spirit Leech. I will probably use this to try to take down his Lord. To try to help. Let's go ahead and get started here. Get everybody going. Get in on them. Get in on them. Go get them. Okay. Khazrak. Go for his hero. Spirit Leech. I'm sorry, his Lord. Spirit Leech his Lord. Let's get him hitting them from behind and him hitting them from behind. And yeah, okay. We're in good shape. We got this. Oh, his Lord's running. What is his Lord? A hybrid weapon specialist. Gonna chase him. See if, just to make sure he never turns around. We've already got... Oh, they're not Blade Guard, they're Way Watchers, yeah. Still, we got them pretty badly beaten up. Only one of my good units here is taking much in the way of damage, which is not surprising. It is legendary difficulty, very hard battle difficulty, AI, stats buffs, and the Eternal Guard and Dryads are all kind of decent units. Okay, we got them broken. Did I destroy one of his Way Watchers units? I may have. You're shattered, that's good. Oh my goodness, I completely forgot. Let's get them firing on him as well. Let's go ahead and get the Spirit Leech going again. What are we doing here? Might as well try to get them in there. Keep hitting them, guys. You got them surrounded. How's he doing? He's... Nice. Okay. That's really the most important thing, was killing that Lord. His army's going to disappear anyway, so we'll go ahead and call it there. Yeah, so I took a lot fewer casualties by fighting that manually than I would have, I'm sure, had I auto-resolved. Now, thematically, I think that because Khazrak's bonuses are for Bestigors, I think I'm probably going to aim for him being an infantry-heavy army. I would not call a bunch of Bestigors a doom stack exactly, but I'll probably get as many of them as I can into his army. Let's go ahead and get our Bestial Rage up a little bit. Get him a Fireball spell that I will no doubt forget to use a lot. And here's the big question. Can I reach the settlement? I was afraid of that. Not even close. Not even close. Campaign movement range is going to be really important. And we want to go ahead and... I don't think he's going to come out of the settlement, so I doubt I'll be able to ambush him, but I need to recruit. Can't quite see what's going on here. Why am I getting the can't move? Huh. I guess that's just impassable terrain right there. Alright, so we're losing a little bit of Winds of Magic. Not the worst thing in the world, but not great. And we'll go ahead and get ourselves... How we doing here on Spearmen? I'm going to want a few Spearmen for sure. But I think between those 3 that we have, plus my 2 shielded ones that I'm recruiting... That'll be all I'll probably need. I think from this point forward I'll start to fill up with at least a few more raiders. And a building upgrade. What can I do? Can I get some dread gained? I can. Okay. Alright, so hopefully he's not recruiting. He's got a 5 stack. Plus 8 on the garrison. That'll be 13. I really kind of hate attacking those Wood Elf settlements. I never have a good time attacking Wood Elf settlements. I'm sure there's nothing we can do diplomatically. No, let's go ahead and move forward a turn and hope that we can take that settlement next turn. Sip of coffee to wake myself up this morning. This campaign could come to an end very, very quickly if I'm not able to take this settlement. I do really like the play style of the beastmen. I didn't think I would before I tried them the first time, but... Alright, got a level up here. Let's go ahead and get you... I don't see really using him on the campaign map primarily, so let's get him better in battle. And here we go. Can I do this? I can reach. Close defeat, so that's not good. I could see... Holy cow! Okay, that's the garrison mod. Yeah, he went from 8 units in the first turn, so I guess the first turn the garrison doesn't show up. I seem to remember a comment about that in the mod, that the units don't show up until the second turn, which is not ideal, but it's okay. Anyway, you can see the effect of it right here. He suddenly went from 8 units in his garrison to 12. Oh boy, okay. He's got 17 units to my 14, plus he's got towers, plus he's got the settlement buff to the biggest part of his army. What tier? Is this a tier 2 settlement?
I think not.
It's a tier 1 provincial capital. Okay. Well, right there you can immediately see the effect of the improved garrisons. He's got a stronger garrison out of his main settlement building, 2 additional Eternal Guard from the military building, and 2 more additional from that military building. Okay, so... Alright, it's no problem. And what I mean by it's no problem, I mean it is a huge problem, but he's only got the 1 settlement. He's only got the 1 army. I believe I'll lose if I attack this turn, but he may attack me. In fact, I think he probably will. And that would be at least reducing the advantage that he'll have of his tower defenses. And to be honest, I'm not sure if that will also reduce the advantage of his settlement arm, his garrison army buff. Let me just see real quickly. If we look at his garrison, can I see the buffs that they've got? I don't think there's any way to hold up the unit card so that I can mouse over there and see what advantages he's got. And I don't know if they would show up on the unit card before we enter combat anyway. Alright, well, I'm sure we can't do anything diplomatically again. No. Let's see if he attacks us. And if he does, let's see if we can win. Another reason for not attacking him is this is really an experiment in terms of, can you play Warhammer at something less than maximum aggressiveness? And so that's kind of what I want to put to the test. He did not attack. Okay. Figured that he would, but apparently he doesn't have the advantage if he's the attacker. That's kind of cool. I think we're already seeing an alteration in the dynamic of the campaign just from that. Still close to feet. He's taken a little bit of damage. I'm not obviously going to wait for the entire 9 turns for them to attrit all the way down to nothing. But I do want to test out this theory of slightly less aggressive campaign. Meanwhile, how is trying to remember. I guess it's right here. This is where Festus is. I actually haven't met him yet, so don't know. I'm assuming he's at war with and possibly conquering, or will be conquering, some of the Empire cities. I'm kind of hoping Festus can be a real nuisance for the Empire for a while, because it's going to take us a while to build up Khazrak, both in terms of his army, his herd stones, and just have a decent strategic fighting chance against all of the Empire's forces. So let's go ahead and give this another turn. Maybe even use partly because I'm just curious to see how many turns of sieging him down it will be before we have the advantage in terms of army strength. We'll kind of use the auto-resolve as a gauge for when the relative strengths of the armies turns to our advantage. There we go. Pyrrhic victory. If we were to attack, we would lose most of our army, which for the beastmen is not really a big deal, except that I would lose 2 units, which I could not easily replace, or at least not right away. So here's the real question is, do I think I could win this battle? I could possibly I could possibly split my forces in two. I've mentioned before, I don't like using cheese tactics, so, you know, fighting a battle for me is normally set piece, but obviously you want to use the advantages that your army has, and mobility could be an advantage for us, but there's just not a lot of area here for us to maneuver and take them by surprise. I was thinking maybe send a flanking army around their left flank and the bulk of our army on their right flank, drawing their forces. But I don't think I would be able to like sneak in and take his victory points. I can't really overwhelm his army with my units. I think I'm going to give this another turn. Even though Pyrrhic victory, I have Khazrak, and that's maybe a slight advantage over his lord. But I don't think it's enough. So let's give this one more turn, testing out the limits of the lack of aggressiveness in this campaign. And there could be other players who like the idea of not having to be super aggressive, and so this is a test for all of those, for all of us who sometimes like to play that way. Alright, for some reason, and I'm not sure why, I thought this guy was actually replenishing over the previous end turns, but now he is not. Still a Pyrrhic victory. Whittled them down a little bit more. I would now be, it would be safe. Okay, so this is a bit of a illustrative moment for anybody who is comfortable with doing auto-resolves, and to each their own. There's nothing wrong with doing auto-resolves. On turn 4, you can auto-resolve this battle and only use units that are easily replaceable. However, I am not a fan of auto-resolve, so I'm going to go ahead and fight this. And this is a big fight. This will bring our campaign to an end very quickly if this does not go well. I do want to try to get some units around to his back line. I might be able to hide a few units on the way in. Let's get the bulk. Let's get all these guys here in the middle. Let's see if we can fight the main part of his force here. These guys, I don't think I'm going to be able to hide them very effectively. And I don't want him to start with units over on this side. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to start them over here and use their mobility to swing them around. Let's go ahead and get Khazrak up here. Let's go ahead and get him over here. And these three, put them over here. Try to draw some more of his units over on this side. Get everything we can over here, and then use our two best and most mobile units to swing around. And we'll see how that goes. So let's get this group ready to charge forward, I guess. I don't want to give them a whole lot of time because they'll just keep building up their tower defenses. So let's go ahead and do this. Dagnabbit, the game always deselects whatever I have selected at the beginning. Let's get them moving forward. Let's get these guys moving around. Alright, Khazrak, get in there. Get you... Oh, I don't even have enough winds for... for the Spirit Leech. And of course I forgot to do the Fireball, just like I thought I would. Okay. How we doing over here? Let's get all of them going on him right now. How we doing over here? Let's try to race through there. Let's see what units he pulls over to fight on that side. Let's keep going here. Let's go ahead. I think I need every able-bodied beastman in this fight, so we're even going to take our wizard and try to get him in there. You guys, yeah, stay on them. You guys are doing okay. Kind of holding the line here. Not great, and he's going to get in trouble with those war dancers very, very soon, and I totally forgot to get my Ungor Raiders up there, so that's bad. Let's see if we can get Khazrak. In a position where he can use his fireball again. Let's get the fireball on them. Okay, that helped a little bit. Let's get back there. Okay, boy, gotta pay more attention here. My micro is not the greatest. Let's go ahead and get that point down. Oh, my best gores have already broken. That's bad. How are these guys doing up here? Chasing him. One of them, I need you to stay there. Actually, two of you. I need you to stay here until that is taken. I do have the bulk of his army up here, which is what I need. I just need to start taking advantage on the flanks. Come on, man. Let's get up there. Let's get you up there. His archers are really going to start picking me to pieces. And let's go ahead and get you back. Where's his... There it is. We got our Bestigors back in the fight. Get them on them. Come on, Khazrak. How you doing, buddy? See if I can pull him out and cast another fireball. Spirit Leech, where's his... I don't see his leader. I wonder if I defeated his leader. That would be nice if I did. I hate to waste a Spirit Leech on something else if his leader is still alive, but I don't see him. Okay, let's get you into the back of his war dancers. Let's get these guys going to here as well, and then we'll get them behind his army. I think we can win this. I think we got it. Not pretty. Not pretty at all. Okay, got them going. That's good. Got enough for another Spirit Leech. These Spirit Leeches are wasteful on regular units. Khazrak doing okay here. I think you're gonna be able to break his Eternal Guard soon. How we doing on our... If I can take his points, destroy those towers. Don't know if that's going to have an effect on his morale or not. Come on, man, break them. Ugly, ugly fight. But still got my best units. Took care of them, that's good. Let's get him over here into this fight. Broken all them, that's good, okay. If they're all broken, okay, I think we got this. I think we break his war dancers. And we'll be in really good shape. He does have some more Glade Guard over here. How are we doing? Got all that, that's excellent. Alright, get on that Glade Guard. Khazrak, how are you doing here? There we go. Nice. May have been able to take this a turn earlier, but I'll take it. Didn't lose a unit. I don't think those Ungors are lost. I think those are Ungors. Did kill his leader. I'll take that. That's a pretty successful fight, especially for me. So how different is this campaign already, where instead of raising our first Herdstone on turn 1, we are raising Dragon Helm. I'll take that. Did not lose the Ungor. I'm sorry, that's a Gore. Okay. Oh yeah, Ungors are the low tier. Okay. Instead of taking or raising our first Herdstone on turn 1, I believe this is now turn 4. Raise Herdstone. Turn 5. Wow. Okay. Turn 5. 5 turns to raise a Herdstone. Definitely a different dynamic. And a good player, a player who's better than I, would certainly have been able to take this a little bit sooner. But you get the idea. Obviously, I'm going to need to recruit some more units. Let's go ahead and make our missile line a little bit stronger. And eventually I'm going to want to focus more on infantry. But for now, I kind of like the idea of a few more fast flankers. Now, do we have any increase ambush chance skills here? I do like the increased replenishment rate, but that's more of a nice to have right now as opposed to a must have. I do want to start getting my infantry buffed, and I also want to make Khazrak stronger himself, so let's go ahead and just right now I think stay balanced. Let's go ahead and get life leeching. I think it's probably more useful to have that sort of a passive effect, because I'll probably continue to use Spirit Leech on enemy heroes and lords. And I'm a big fan of getting visibility on our enemies. The Grand Duchy of Middenland, this is of course Boris.
The Empire.
He's already got 4 settlements to my 1. Not super strong though. And of course, Reichland, Karl Franz, has 5. That was fast. How does he have 5 already on turn 5? Anyway, so my enemies outnumber me 9 settlements to 1, so this is why I'm saying I'm going to need to ambush his armies that are going to be coming at me more aggressively than I believe I'll be able to go at them. And that's fine. Obviously, they don't want peace with me at this point. And let's go ahead and get some research going. Since research conveniently buffs the infantry first, that's also what we're going to be focusing on for the most part with Khazrak, and I don't think there's really a whole lot else that we can do. We do have a little bit of dread that we could spend. I'm kind of tempted to wait until the full moon just in case we are able to... Nah, you know what? I need all the good units I can get. Well, no, I'm okay with the raiders for now. I was going to say, it might be worth bumping up the Ungor herd to be able to get a few more of them. But I think we'll kind of cautiously wait and spend our dread. Okay, let's go ahead and see how soon it is before we get attacked. Okay, so nobody came at us yet. Time for us to, well, I can't really afford, but I do have enough army growth once I can afford this. So I do need to recruit up to 20, so I think I'm going to spend one more turn here in the settlement. Okay, they're not going to attack me, I don't think.
I refuse.
These guys will. These guys will soon enough, but not quite yet. I've changed my mind. I'm going to come out of the settlement, but I am going to go into encampment stance. And I'm going to start... I'm going to go ahead and get my units up, of course, but I'll start raiding next turn and trying to draw armies towards me. The kind of campaign that I envisage is lots of battles, hopefully lots of ambushes, but a much slower campaign in terms of destroying settlements. We're just not going to be able to bounce around and destroy one settlement after another. And I'm glad, because I don't think that's realistic. And I feel like it kind of fits the whole Warhammer beastman theme to be fighting lots and lots of battles and kind of slowly take and destroy one settlement after another. That's the goal long term. But in the beginning, it's really going to be more about survival, I think, because they vastly outnumber us. We're not that strong yet. We don't have much experience yet. We have only the one settlement. Anyway, enough talking. All right, let's go ahead and see if we can lead one of the many armies that are going to be against us into an ambush. Just force of habit, I always take a look at my diplomacy. We have now met Festus, so at least in time we will possibly have a friendship with him. Not sure if we can trade with him or not. Can the beastmen even trade at all? Can't remember. I guess all I had to do was look at the options on my diplomacy screen. I think trade was one of them. Okay, so he's not coming at me yet. Boris, that is. We do have the orcs, who might be a useful little diversion. Got my slight buff now for my Ungor herds, that's good. Gift of Musicians, plus 15% for 3 turns. That could be handy. We'll definitely take that. Got my stack up to 20. Now, of course, I still am in pretty bad shape, health-wise. Which one of these is going to be most impactful? Leadership and magic attacks, only affects one ally. At least at the standard, at the non-overpowered, non-upgraded version of it. This, gonna sneeze. Maybe not. Okay. This might be this affects all of the enemies in range, and is a bit of a debuff to them. That's probably the one I'm going to end up choosing, but I think this one reduces leadership. Yep. Okay. Which is pretty useful for beastmen, but not really what I want to start with. So now, how am I going to go about getting them until I can get a second army? And once I can get a second army, everything's going to get a lot easier because I'll be able to use one army for bait and keep the other one in ambush stance, really in camp stance. But until I can do that, I need to try to draw them toward me. I'm not healing here. I'm only getting 150 gold, but I am also increasing my bestial rage, which I do need to do. How strong is Boris? He's stronger than I am. If he were to come at me with both of his armies, I'm assuming he has two. He's got one here, and who knows... Oh, there he is down there. Oh dear, and here comes Karl Franz. You know almost all of these guys are going to come towards us. Almost certainly. Are they at war with the orcs yet, the greenskins?
Yes?
Yes, they are.
The nation calls.
Altdorf is not. Clearly I'm using the mod that changes the names of the factions dynamically, which I quite like. Okay, so the greenskins are actually quite strong, and they may be a useful distraction against Middenland, but not against Reichland. Reichland's going to be coming straight at me. Reichland is also stronger than I am, so he's going to come at me whether I'm raiding or not. So what I really need to do is get my replenishment up and also get myself in a situation that is favorable for us, and the only way to do that is to not only ambush them but also have the advantage of our garrison coming out to help us. So we're at 100% ambush. That's good. The range, I can actually move a little bit further out and still get the garrison to come out and help. Okay. What I think will happen is Karl Franz is going to take several turns to get here, but he's going to come straight up here and attack me. If we can get him alone, we can win that. Let's go ahead and get our Ungor Raiders improved a bit. Got nothing else really to do with my army. Let's go ahead and give this another turn or two before we end this first video. But I'm really looking forward to seeing how this campaign plays out, because it's going to feel a lot different. I should check to see if Festus wanted to do anything diplomatically. The answer to that is obviously yes. Payment of 300. That would take me more than 6 turns for that to pay off. I'm going to decline because I think next turn I might be able to do it for free. Okay, what is he doing? Is he going to attack me or the greenskins? The greenskins who are brazenly raiding his territory. Nice, okay. Way to go, Greenskins. Appreciate you, man. The longer they can provide a distraction, the longer we have to replenish and hopefully start ambushing. Damaged units will be fully replenished. That's an option. It almost feels like a bit of a waste, but Bestial Rage, that would be good, particularly because we're hanging out in encampment stance. Beastly Inclination could be pretty useful. Almost Fight, not useful right now while we only have one army. Okay, so it's between Beastly Inclination, which is quite strong and lasts 3 turns, and Bestial Rage, which allows us to stay in... I'm actually going to choose this, which is interesting. I don't normally take this one very often, but I want to be able to feel comfortable staying in encampment stance. And with that buff, we can do it and still be positive with respect to the Bestial Rage. If I move... I'm a little disappointed that I lost track of Karl Franz. I'm gonna send my wizard out here on a scouting expedition. Don't want to get him real far away, but I do need eyes on the enemy, and quite frankly, why... I should have line of sight over all regions. I guess Karl Franz has actually buggered off. Oops, not what I meant to do. There we go. So this is our Blood region territory. He might have gone in ambush stance, but I don't remember seeing a message for that. So yeah, he's actually really not here. Alright. Change of strategy. We're going to have to push forward a bit ourselves. Can I see what... I can't really see what Boris has in his army, but I think if he's got pretty much just chaff in that army,
Khazrak.
I can probably defeat his army, certainly in an ambush battle. So let me risk moving into his territory here. I still can replenish slowly, but I want to get into a position where maybe I can jump him if he provides some type of an opportunity. Mindenheim is going to be a tough nut to crack. Middenstag won't be. That's only a garrison of 7, even with the garrison mod. And Karaberg all the way down here, it's pretty inconvenient. I don't see going all the way down there for now. It's a little bit inconvenient that his toughest settlement is also the one that's most convenient to us. But it is what it is. We're going to go ahead and move towards it, but stay hidden. Let's bring our wizard back into the army. And we'll give this one more in turn for this video. Would be nice to be able to get a second fight in the first video, but that is looking less likely. Still no Karl Franz. I'll have to look and see if he went... Oh, and I forgot to check diplomacy with Festus again. I'll have to see if maybe Reichland is at war with another faction. There we go. I thought he was coming. Thought he was coming. Not only is he not coming, but he's in encamp stance, which means I can't ambush him. Aim for the head. Missile strength advantage. Alright. I think we're going to go ahead and end this first recording there, but in the next one, we'll definitely have a fight, one way or another. Greenskins are going to be helping out right now, so that's good. And we will go ahead and have...
Old song.
Yeah, okay, I can already do...
Any friend of mine
I can do
is
a
friend of Nargon.
trade agreement with Festus and get a ceasefire, or a non-aggression pact with him, which is
Favorable.
Tribesmen.
strategically not something I particularly care about, but we're going to have our hands full fighting Reichland, Middenland, and others as they start to join in as well. So we kind of need all the friends we can get in the early going. Okay, it's an interesting start, and hopefully an entertaining one, and we're going to see how this campaign continues to play out.